What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it's that time of the week. It's weekly rotation time, and we've got some newer stuff to the collection, some stuff that's off camera, and honestly a decent amount of stuff that's new to the collection. Some fresher stuff because it did warm up again. We were in the mid to high 80s pretty much the whole time, so the fresher stuff came back around, and a couple times got a few compliments. They're good for that. The fresher stuff is definitely good for that. So it's week number 255 in my weekly rotation. Let's talk about it, right? Stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday, this fragrance ran solo. I didn't run anything that evening, and this is one of the newest releases in Mont Blanc's newest collection. This is called Extreme Leather. So Extreme Leather was my favorite. I tried 3 of the 4 from the new line. I didn't try the patchouli one. I don't believe it was. No, it's a vetiver one. It's a vetiver one, I think, that I haven't tried. And this was hands down my favorite of the 3. This has a supple brown leather accord with a sweet, somewhat earthy iris note. This line in general is definitely the highest quality fragrances I've smelled from Mont Blanc. I'm not saying, luxury level stuff, but compared to their usual like Legend line and all that, it's much more chemically synthetic. Not the same thing here. Very simple, straight and to the point. It's an iris leather fragrance with some sweetness, a touch of earthiness, not real heavy on the spice, but a little hint of spice. Soft woody feel in the background. I believe they only give like 3 notes. There's a little bit more going on than that, but it's pretty straightforward. The 3 main notes they give you are the 3 main things you will smell. Performance, I would say, is slightly above average. Falls in that 6 to 8 hour range in longevity, but again, the quality here is actually really good. They're already at discounters. I paid a little over $80 for this from Fragrance Buy. I'm not sure if it's still in stock. I'll have links down in the video description if you want to check any of this out. But yeah, turns out one of my favorite designers released this year. I'm not sure if it's going to end up in the top 10 or that middle tier top 10 because we're adding a new tier because there was just so many good designer releases this year when I do my annual end of the year videos in December. But yeah, during the day on Sunday, Mont Blanc's Extreme Leather. Moving into Monday, I just got this from Aroma Concepts the other day, and this is supposedly, and it's a fingerprint magnet too, this is supposedly a take on Guerlain's Cherry Oud, which I've never tried, which, oh my, do I need to try that one, because Cologne's really good. This is Paris Corner's Ophidian Black Cherry, and I am a fan of the, you can see this smudged, I just tried wiping them off, fingerprints. This is some good stuff. You also have the mango one called Mango Bliss, which is supposed to be God of Fire, which is really good. I'm probably going to wear that this week. But, smoky, spicy, dark, somewhat sour cherry. It doesn't list as sour cherry, but you get a hint of sour to it. This is amazing. If you like cherry fragrances, this is great. And I've already been asked 2 or 3 times, and somebody's probably going to ask from me giving it praise right now. No, I don't think it's better than French Defense, and it's also not the same type of cherry fragrance as French Defense. No. So French Defense is the GOAT. Until further notice, that's the GOAT of all cherry fragrances to me. This might be a close second though. This is an addictive smoky cherry, dark, spicy, a little bit of spice anyways, a lot of incense to this one. Don't really get any oud funk or anything like that. It has a warm wood feel to it. Again, adds some darkness. It's an ambery type of smell. Performance was actually pretty good. Another one, kind of 6-7 hour range is what I remember getting from it. It just smells absolutely incredible. During the day, Paris Corner's Ophidian Black Cherry. And when I got the shower on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I decided to give several chances because I was very underwhelmed with my first impression on this one. This is Taj 2 from Fragrance World, a Blue Talisman clone. And the opening grew on me. The dry down's where the magic is. And I wouldn't even say magic, that's strong, but it's way better in the dry down, and I really got to where I quite enjoy this one. And, from what I remember, because I don't have my decant of Blue Talisman anymore, I would say it's in that 80% range-ish. It's pretty close. I don't think it's all that one-to-one-esque carbon copy type of stuff, but it's definitely in the vein. It is a decent fragrance. I gave it a 5.5 out of 10 with my first impressions. Like, it's just okay. It's just average. It's okay. I've started to come around to more like a 6.75. We're bumping it like a 1.25 points to where I think it's better than good, but I still don't think it's quite very good. For those of you that are familiar with my rating scale, it's on the tip of being what I would consider very good. So its rating has boosted. It did grow on me tremendously. I wore it several evenings in a row. I do quite like it. It is not a super long-lasting fragrance. It's like 4 to 5 hours, but it's a really good 4 to 5 hours. You know, it's not the best fragrance I've smelled this year, but it's also not the worst. It definitely grew on me quite a bit. Still not one that I would say rush out and grab for 40 bucks. You're still not getting Blue Talisman for $40 if that's what you're thinking. It's you know, it's close, but not quite close enough, but it is a decent fragrance after all, and definitely one that grew on me rather quickly. So, out the shower on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Taj 2 from Fragrance World. Moving into Tuesday, what a super easy to wear daily wear fragrance. This is another new release. This one's from Nishane. This is called Deziro. Very vibrant color on the plate. So this one keeps getting touted as similar Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. And yes, there's a lot of resemblance to it there. But this is far more aquatic. The woods here are less on the warm side and more on the dry side because the star anise, I believe, helps to give this dry spice that kind of dries out the woody note. I quite like. For being very aquatic and still managing to have a dry wood smell is a testament to the perfumer, the way this was blended and balanced with the notes used to create the accords. Beautiful citrus, like I said, watery, aquatic, dry, woody spice, not over the top smoky. Again, you'll smell Bleu de Chanel. There's no denying you're going to get some Bleu de Chanel EDP here. But it's not the same fragrance. It's not. There's strong similarity. I would say 50-60% similarity here. There's no denying it. You'll see in the forums, Cool Water Intense. I think that's a big time reach in my opinion. Hey, to each their own. I don't think it smells anything like Cool Water Intense, honestly. But I'm happy with this. You might want to try it before you buy. It was in the $130 range I paid from Fragrance Buy. And that's, you know, in the range of what you'll pay for Bleu de Chanel EDP. So you got to decide what you like more. So definitely try it before you buy. If you're a huge fan of the DNA and want to smell a new twist on it, then yeah, this is probably a safe move for you. Or if maybe you don't mess with designers and you kind of like that easygoing, mass appealing profile and you want something like that from a house like Nishane, they got you covered. I do quite enjoy this one. It's Nishane's Deziro. And then once again, when you're at the shower, Taj 2. Moving into Wednesday, in my opinion, a Mount Rushmore blue. I would put this up there. Yeah, it's one of the most complimented fragrances I've ever worn. It's one of the better smelling and better performing oceanic aquatic blues I've ever smelled. Bvlgari's Aqva Atlantiqve. I love revisiting this one. This is so good. And I did too many sprays. I did 5 around my neck, and then after my Scent of the Day shorts video, I actually did 1 on each forearm. I ended up with 7 sprays. Yeah, my sillage was pretty strong. Wife was digging it. She did tell me it was too strong, but at least it smells really good since it's so strong. That's a direct quote. We went to eat at Sharky's. Our server paid me a nice compliment. He's like, I know that's you that I'm smelling. He's like, that smells like a men's fragrance, man. That smells really good. I said, well, I sure appreciate that. Thank you, man. So that was it's always nice when you get a nice compliment. It's not always in abundance, but they do happen, you know, and there's never a guarantee. But for this one, almost a guarantee. This happened. It's more times than not with this fragrance, and I'm sure a lot of you that have had it over the years can probably attest to that. I mean, again, not everybody that has this has gotten compliments with it, but it's powerful. It smells like the original Bvlgari Aqva mixed with Dylan Blue. It's got similar tones to the profile. You know, saltwater aquatic, just a beautiful fragrance, ambery, woodsy, citric, just, like I said, Mount Rushmore blue. During the day, Bvlgari's Aqva Atlantiqve, and like I mentioned before, out the shower, Taj 2. Moving into Thursday, this has become one of my favorite designer releases of the year. I think this is going to be in my top 10 at the end of the year. This isn't going to hit the middle tier. This is going to be in my straight up favorite 10. Eros Energy. I honestly could care less who else agrees. because I sure as shit like this. My wife absolutely likes this. It puts a smile on my face to wear this. I've seen the Lemon Pledge comments like, have you smelled Club de Nuit Intense Man EDT, sir? To say that about this. Like, okay, there's some people that aren't going to like it because it's undeniably similar to Aventus, mainly Aventus cologne. But damn, is it good. It's like the same people that are crapping on this for smelling like Aventus are the same people that'll praise Mont Blanc Explorer, which other people are saying the dry down similar to on here, which, sure, I get the relation. But it's not exactly either. It's not really Explorer, and it's not really Aventus cologne. It's also not at all Eros. It's elements of these things, not Eros, elements of these other fragrances. And so it kind of makes its own thing at the same time. It's a candied lemon head type of citrus at the top. Got that tart black currant fruitiness. You know, there's your Aventus tie-in. I love it. It's grown on me exponentially. I get solid performance, 6 to 8 hour range on this one as well. It's just a joy to wear. It's an absolute joy to wear. I would highly encourage you to not take my word for it, not take any random anonymous profile's word for it, and just go try it. Go to Macy's, go to Dillard's, go to wherever that carries Versace's men's fragrances, Sephora, Ulta, wherever, and go get this on skin and try for yourself and spend a little time with it. Because it's pretty damn good. During the day, Versace Eros Energy. Love it. And then out the shower, Taj 2. Moving into Friday, we switched things up. It really didn't cool down any, but I was in the mood to wear this. I put it to the side to wear it, so I wore it. Hermes H24 Eau de Parfum. So, smells like the original plus oak moss. What's the original smell like? Has this green citric metallic smell. A little bit of a floral tone. But with this one, you get this earthy green, somewhat woodsy oak moss added to the fold. That just adds depth. When you smell this versus the EDT, it seems like the EDT had something missing. It's almost like this is the complete fragrance. And I love the EDT. I'm thankful the EDT exists because I always, from the moment I smelled it, I thought, I like what they're doing here. I want to see what kind of twists and flankers they can do with this as a base DNA. Because Hermes, when they flanker, they stay true to the DNA. A la Terre de Hermes, for example. And so far, so good. We've had two, and they're fantastic. The EDP and Herbe Vives are both fantastic. I'm curious to see what a fourth will be. I don't know if it's going to be a parfum or another named flanker, but so far, so good. This is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. It is chemically synthetic smelling. It is an unnatural smell. Meets a somewhat natural oak moss smell. Somewhat. I'm sure it's not genuine moss oil, but it smells less synthetic than the EDT, even though the EDT has a stronger metallic presence and so on. It's an odd fragrance, but I just dig it. I always have. Fantastic. Great performer, too. This one's beyond 8 hours in longevity. So during the day, Hermes is H24 EDP, and then when I got out the shower, it was time for a shave. We mentioned, somebody brought up Sterling Shave Company in a live stream the other day. I said, I got Sandpiper that smells like La Nuit Cologne. I haven't used that in a while. I need to use that. So I did. Here is the splash. I used the soap, and I gave myself a few sprays of La Nuit Cologne. More than a few sprays. I did like 6 sprays, and it was totally unnecessary. The wife absolutely loved it because big fan. Big fan of the La Nuit Cologne DNA. In particular, this and several of the flankers to La Nuit Cologne, she's a big fan of, as am I. So if you were looking for a shaving experience similar to this, Sterling Soap Company Sandpiper is what you were looking for. It is La Nuit Cologne. You can get the shave soap, you can get the splash, and I want to say they might have some beard products. I don't recall. I don't remember. I've had it for a while. So I haven't used it in a long time, but man, you can never go wrong. Modern men's classic. Sweet, aromatic, powdered cardamom, nice and spiced. Man, an all-time great, especially for dinner dates. Out the shower, had a good shave. Sterling Soap Company's Sandpiper and YSL La Nuit de l'Homme. And finally on Saturday, I ended up not wearing anything out the shower. I had plans to wear something and ended up forgetting to spray it. Not that serious. But yesterday morning, because it's Sunday morning at the recording, this Saturday morning, I did an unboxing, first impressions on some new fragrances Aroma Concepts sent me. And one of them was Oud Holidays in the Pandora Sense line from Paris Corner. And the funny thing about this, when I saw this bottle and the name, well, the box and the name and the theme and all that, I thought, I bet you that's a twist on Oud Island from Mont. And the night before, I bought 4 Manceras and 2 Montals from Fragrance Buy, and one of the Montals being Oud Island from Mont. So it was fresh. The note breakdown was fresh in my memory because I looked up the notes to see if it was because somebody mentioned it in a live stream that I might like it, and we looked before, and I was like, let me double check one more time because they got it in stock, and I was making an order. So the next day, I immediately thought that's got to be what this is. Smelled it. It smelled like sunscreen and black leather, and was like, that's the note breakdown. Yeah, this has got to be it. Having never smelled the original, I'm like, this has got to be it. We looked at the note breakdown in the video, and I'm like, yeah, that's funny. Of all the Manceras and Montals for them to clone, they cloned that one, which I highly doubt super popular. But I'll tell you what, if you like fragrances like Mancera Holidays, Tom Ford's Eau de Soleil Blanc or the regular Soleil Blanc, Beach Walk from Maison Margiela, the list goes on and on with these creamy, somewhat white floral sunscreen fragrances, beachy, solar, feet in the sand sunscreen fragrances. You'll like this because you take that and you add a black leather accord that hangs out, I would say, for half the life of the fragrance. I'd say 4 or 5 hours into it. It does fade and it gets sweeter. It stays creamy from start to finish. It's a creamy fragrance. It goes from creamy sunscreen lotion to creamy, sweet, soft wood. A little bit of amber, because the labdanum, I think, gives it a little bit of this ambery tone. Because you have a black leather cord and you have labdanum, which labdanum can be leathery or ambery or both sometimes. And in this case, I think it's doing a little bit of both. I don't remember if there's an amber note in here, but probably because I smell amber. Point being, though, this is actually quite lovely. Another one, wife's definitely a fan of. That morning from the first impressions, I had it on this hand. And while I was at the gym, I was constantly going back to it. That and Appletini. Appletini's really good. Yeah, I really like this. I'm actually quite eager to compare it to the original once the original gets here in, probably 3 or 4 days from now. I'm very curious because this is actually really good. Quality here doesn't smell too cheap and chemically synthetic. It's just solid. It's solid. And I don't know. I don't know if it's a necessary clone to exist because Oud Island was like 70-something for 100 ml. It was like 40. It's only available on Aroma Concepts UK site currently, which I have down below. It's like 33 pounds or euros or what. I'm terrible with foreign exchange currencies. Somebody commented that it's equivalent to like 41 bucks. Well, I paid like 74 for the original, so more than half of what the original cost. So maybe not worth it here, but it's going to be interesting to explore nonetheless to see just how accurate it is. Because standalone, pretty damn good. I enjoyed my wearing yesterday. No compliments outside of the wife because we were running around. We had a lot of stuff going on yesterday, but solid and unexpected. Pandora Sense from Paris Corner. Oud Holidays. Well, that was this week's rotation. I appreciate you guys for checking it out. 255 weeks. 260, right? 52 times 5. Well, in there's a leap day, but that won't matter to add weeks. But at 260 weeks, I'll make 5 years straight of doing this weekly rotation. So we're 5 weeks away into December, because December was when I started doing the weekly rotation in 2019. Handful of months into creating content, I started doing a weekly rotation video every Sunday, most of the time Sunday, sometimes Monday or Tuesday, depends on what I got going on. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're 5 weeks out from 5 straight years of the weekly rotation. Interesting, right? On YouTube, in the fragrance space, most consistent with the weekly rotation. I've just rolled with it as a regular format weekly. So I appreciate those of you that always watch, and or if this is your first time, I appreciate you. And if it is your first time, or if you watch all the time and you just for some reason haven't done it yet, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on all notifications when these videos drop. You can take part right along with us and get to them before everybody else. And definitely put your rotation or whatever you wore this week, whether it was just one fragrance all week, definitely comment down below and let me know. So thank you once again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all have a good one.